What's up, party people? It is GleeCon, and I'm here yet again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Thank you for clicking on this show, a show where I cover everything in the world of Warcraft universe with you. We hold hands, do it together in an extremely long and intimate fashion. One thing we do is we play through every game, every quest, every line of dialogue, every little in-game artifact that we can possibly get our hands on, as close to a true 100% exploration of WoW as possible. We're playing through Classic Era, and we're about 3/4 of the way through the game. So today we're going to take Glee Console here, who is our Enhancement Tauren Shaman, and wrap up Feralas. And that will be another zone in the book. So stay a while and listen. If you want to check out previous episodes, we also cover lore that's not in the game. So we read all of the books in the game, we watch the videos, we look at the manga, and we do non-canon sections each week where we look at now defunct lore on Wowpedia and sites like that. If you also like what you see, like, subscribe, check me out, and share it with everyone that you've ever met as a gift to your family and friends, to your grandmother. You can say, hey, here's a link to a channel. And you can also get the sheets. You'll see me referring to these sheets. If you want to follow this journey on your own, but you don't like me, that's cool, that's fine. I'm just here to provide a service to the greater world of Warcraft community. Check my links out, and you can follow the quests in the exact order that we do them, or you can follow them in perfect completionist OCD order from easiest to hardest quest by zone. If you are interested, I also do a version of this where I do just insane. I jump from zone to zone almost between every single quest. It's very time consuming if you want to play this game in the background of your life, but I do on Anniversary, a completionist style. I do not do that one on camera, but I could provide a separate list that I keep for that. I also have the class and profession lists. And if you want all of this exact same experience done on Assassin's Creed, check me out on Patreon, GleeCon/Patreon. Okay, so today we're going to pick up and finish this zone. One of the things we have, we finished the Yetis last time and we stopped here because I wanted to kind of give us enough time for one episode. Yesterday's episode, or 2 days ago, was a little short. We need to get the last Muisek, which is from the mountain giants. We also are tasked with killing harpies, and then we're going to visit the top of the mountain before we go turn these quests in, and then we make a small jaunt into the eastern kingdoms. We are also going to go to Desolus and do some quest pickup while we're in Desolus. So, yeah, I think that's probably the best. Probably what we're going to do. All right, I don't even know who this guy is. Somebody you can talk to. Oh, you know what? I think he's one of the leatherworking specialists for Alliance. Alright, so we are getting into Muisek territory here. You can tell as soon as the rocks start having these little crystals, you're getting close to where the mountain giants like to hang out. When you're doing the giant zapping repeatable, you can also come to these giants as well if you prefer to kill them instead of the the sea giants. I don't know. It's a good question. I've never tried it. If you can zap them on that quest and then come do the Muisek, if you're having a hard time killing them on Elite, you could try it. I suspect the answer is, look, this is a rare. We're gonna get that bad boy. This is called Arash Ethis. I don't think I've ever killed this one. Now, it's going to be a little bit trickier because we are going to have to fight those other rares just straight up as is. Not a very tough rare. We got some plate bracers that are okay. 24 attack power. I don't know. Alright, so since we're in elite fighting mode, we are going to have to use our totems. Normally I drop totems only when they are like relevant or whatever, or like if I'm going to be able to cluster fight in a particular area. This time we do not have that going on, so I could probably drop a offensive totem if I wanted as well. Waiting a little bit. We do have the talent buff, so we have a 70% chance to not be interrupted on heals. So I can pop a regular heal if I want. I shouldn't have to use my swift heal unless I get into an emergency. I think we could probably fight this guy without even resorting to the heals. There's a level 49 elite. We are level 56, so don't get it twisted. That's why we did so well. When we start the next zone, Fellwood, we are really jumping up to a new level of difficulty with the game. We enter the penultimate kind of tier in the way that I've tiered the zones on previous episodes. So I would... You'll see a huge jump in difficulty is the point that I'm making here. If we pull one of these Grodok Thunderers, that might complicate things a little bit. I'm happy that these... Ooh, that was a nice combo of, like, everything critting all at once. My lightning shield hit. I had my Wind Fury. It looked like I got double crits off the Wind Fury. And this little fire thing maybe even critted. I don't even know if the fire totem can crit, but damn, it did. Searing totem. It seems like they're getting close enough to cause me problems, but you have to remember with the bigger creatures like the land giants, when they have those larger hitboxes, their aggro radius doesn't actually change. So you can get deceptively closer to larger creatures. Alright, just remember to make sure to use your little drum to actually activate the Muisek at the end of each fight. It'd be annoying to have to fight those guys for nothing. We're gonna go kite him back over to there too. This guy. Come on, buddy. We have a little bit of a better range because we have that talent activated as well. So at least I'm going to get 40, 35, 3 seconds out of that. Probably be enough to get through this fight with this dude. So far we're doing pretty good. We may have to stop and drink or whatever at some point, but we're doing pretty good. This is a pretty sustainable way of... When we've got all the totems, because since we're enhancement technically, we have all of the totems upgraded enough that it is really a sustainable. We've also recently leveled up and upgraded our powers. So we're seeing immediate dividends on that, you know. Because we have the level 56 tier of shaman powers. So one of those things we upgraded was, I think our healing wave upgraded, which is good. I believe our Grace of Air totem upgraded, which that's a great one. Our lightning shield upgraded, that's probably the most important one. Stone skin totem, maybe. It might have upgraded. Our mana spring totem did upgrade for sure. So basically a big chunk of our kit all got upgraded on the last visit to town very shortly. All we've done since then is kill Yetis. Cliff Giant, and then whatever. There was two kinds here. There's Cliff Giants and there's something else. I don't want to aggro that guy. I'm not. Probably be okay, but better safe than sorry. Us being so far above them also helps. Got Deep Rock Salt for that. Oh, that's okay. I was gonna fight him anyway, so I just now have to. This time I will use the Swift one because I want to not worry about the heals. I don't want to have to worry about losing seconds in the fight. In case, just even in the casting time, you know, that's a 3-second cast, 70% save interrupt. So even if even if I got hit once, we're adding another second, so we're wasting 4 to 5. That's a couple swings with Wind Fury potential procs. That makes a difference. Oh, I forgot to do that earlier, which kind of is a bummer because it's a 30-second cooldown. I should have done it instantly. Should have used my Muisek drum instantly. Alright, so we will have to Muisek it up. We do want to use something on this guy because we are down. So I'm gonna, I mean, spider sausage is minimal. Hot smoked bass, pretty decent. Glossy mitefish, man, those are actually pretty weak. All right, so we're gonna put a glossy mitefish on. Dang it, I should have put my spirit, but I didn't. I mean, I should have put a Mana Spring Totem down first because I don't want to drink since we're far enough along. Alright, so we're already 5 out of 7 Muisek, and then we just have to kill the harpies. That's the only real questing we have to do today, and we do have some exploration to achieve in our life. Here those wandering forest walkers. We addressed them on a previous quest. Those guys are rare, or, you know, whatever, uncommon, I guess is probably more accurate. This is my, I could be totally wrong, but this is the rotation I like to do. Unless I'm doing hardcore mythics on retail or serious raiding, I usually don't pay a lot of attention to like optimized meta rotations. I just try to find things that synergize and do them on my own. I find that it's a lot more sustainable when I drop Stone Skin Totem. When I'm going melee, I just feel like it provides more of a buff to me than the extra strength I would get from Strength of Earth. Obviously, there are people online that extensively do Earthbind instead. They can show you, I'm not the guy for it, my hand-eye coordination is not good enough for that. But there's a way, I guess, to kind of weave. I can't remember exactly what the strategy is called, but you drop the Earthbind Totem, and you time... It's for two-hander enhancement shamans. You basically, with the slower cast time or whatever, swing time, you basically time it to where you're, and you can, there are mods, like swing meter mods that you can add that really make it a lot easier, but essentially you, I think I hit the wrong button. Essentially, you kind of swing your two-handed, and then you back up and you make the enemy approach you through the Earthbind Totem, in such a way that you are hitting with your two-hander at the same exact time as they are. As they approach, and then you continue backing up like within the radius of your Earthbind. So you have to be constantly juggling your exact position, mixing it with some kind of swing meter or impeccable timing and knowledge of your weapon. That was another little quick combo. And supposedly, if you do that right, you can essentially greatly minimize the amount of damage you take. Now, if you're fighting a mob that has a swing time on par with your own, or then it's gonna not do a lot. If you are fighting a mob that has a very fast swing time that does like a lot of little hits, then you can really see some benefits. If you're one that's slower, you might see some great benefits if you can time it. You know, you could maybe cut the damage in half. Alright, so we have to kill 16 different harpies, and hopefully one of them will drop the Horn of Hate Talon. So in the meantime, all we're going to do is just go fight harpies. We've been here before for other quests. Oh, that one just evaded everything, so that's a glitched out harpy. Alright, this is a Northspring harpy. This is the generic harpy class. Think about it, when they designed Classic, and I don't know if it still exists in retail, probably to some effect, all of the monster models have classes of their own. Now, what changes is actually the beginning word, like Northspring. That will change their base stat block, like a modifier, kind of a multiplier. Here's another one. What is then going to determine their move set is what their second word is. So Harpy is the generic class. What really keyed me onto this is actually when I read through the Dungeons and Dragons. There's there's a long series of books where they made this into old school Dungeons and Dragons shortly after the game came out. we looked at every single book online. I found PDF versions of every single one. It was a ton of books because they did it all, and then before World of Warcraft even came out, I think they were already doing it in the time of like Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. They were starting to work on this project, and then these are the rogue feathers, by the way. Obviously, they are the rogues of the Harpy world, or some type of rogue. You can kind of see what they do. They're a little smaller, but obviously you can look. They don't always proc whatever skill they're set to do. They all run. Most humanoids do. So that's usually tied to a class, but some races have it baked into pretty much every class. But when they talk about the different races, like playing them or treating them as monsters or whatever, and they do cover all of the different a lot of the different monster races. Like harpies are in there, so how to make different class harpies. But they describe a lot of the things such as rogue feather or slayer or windcaller, and then you can see how even in the Dungeons and Dragons thing they're envisioned as a there we go, we got the horn. Okay, so now we can just sort of make our way to go killing the queen. And this will be our last rogue, and then we'll just get I'm trying to remember where we have to go. Yeah, to the very tip top. So this was sort of like the Centaur quest in Maraudon, where you kill until you get a horn, and then you use that to summon the mob. I believe she's elite, so we do kind of need to go and clear her area, which is why I want to go there first. I don't want to do unnecessary killings. Okay, so this is a Slayer, another class. These harpies are sufficiently squishy enough that probably can buy without doing much healing. Emergency heal as needed. Don't need to. So the Slayers are, in my opinion, they're kind of like the warriors. We're not seeing them proc their moves very much, though. This is the generic one again. I think you play, you see it. Some of them have some kind of gouge. Some of them might have a bleed or something like that. Some of it might just be overall stat buffs. Alright, so alright, so I'm just looking at the people in the chat. So I just happened to flip down. There is a person that is pretty notorious in chat in the Era server, because it's pretty much one big server cluster now. And not on this account, it's a Horde character. But my Momkin account, which is really where I spend the majority of my Horde time, it's my prep account for this. Alright, so this looks like where we're gonna settle, like, fight this person. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we just go ahead and maybe I'll pop my... I'm not even gonna heal up or anything. I think we're strong enough to take it. I'm just blow this horn. Probably just Hate Talon stones. That right here. Where are the Hate Talon stones at? Do I have to be like right in between them? Can't remember. Yeah. That wasted 30 seconds of our totems, but say lovey. Okay, so she should. There she is. There we go. Come on, aggro on. You're coming to me, girl. Okay, 40 seconds of our totems got wasted. I don't know if she actually has a heal though, so I should keep track of that. So for whatever reason, my mana is really low. I'm using 9. I think it's okay now. I gotta get conservative on the mana. What did she? My searing totem maybe wore off. Or she hit it. I think it just wore off. Alright, I think we're in good shape now. I'm gonna just take this base tank, that lightning bolt, let it happen. I can conserve some heals. Got her. Alright, so she hit significantly harder than those little giants did, but you know, she's 50, so she's a pinch higher on the level. We got that girl's heart though. So we just have to kill the remaining 7 harpies. And as we saw, those guys, these ones are a piece of cake. I think what we're going to do is go here, and then I'm going to travel up and around the zone, and then we'll fly back over to Camp Taraja. Whatever. It's going to be about as long, and I that's another thing I wanted to do on this episode was I wanted to set us up so that we're ready to go. We have not killed any wind callers. I saw one, but I was like, it'll be okay. Normally the wind callers are everywhere and annoying. There's a slayer. We need 2 slayers and all 4 wind callers still. So, and you know that, oh, there's a wind caller down there. We'll go down there and grab it. Since we are, for whatever reason, we're seeing a dearth of wind callers. The next episode that we're going to do tomorrow is actually going to be a lore episode, and it's not a side lore. It's going to be the first time in a really, really, really long time that we have hit a lore episode that's actually like appropriate for the timeline of the game. That's going to go back to our flow, because other than maybe a break where we read some manga about Christmas and stuff, we have... The beginning when Era dropped, when Vanilla dropped, it's just so big and massive. It's taken us longer than it probably took in real life to get this far, especially we had a reboot of the show. So we've really spent a solid 1.5 years getting this far between this and the reboot. Dang it, that's not the kind that I needed. That's not the hoppy you're looking for. So, what we're going to do is just it's going to be a 1-day thing, but it's a quick little review at Chronicles, which we haven't done in a while. So there is a Chronicles entry. There was an expansion that came out because we're going to do Maraudon next, and that is... We won't be doing it for a few days, but we will do it in a few days. That's I'm thinking about it here. Tomorrow we'll read that Chronicles. That'll be nice. Okay, all we need is the three more Wind Furies. And then Monday I will probably drop my weekly Patreon episode for Assassin's Creed, Lord of Assassin's Creed. It's going to be a book one, a collector's edition art book review, and look at that together for the collector's edition art book for Assassin's Creed 2. We looked at the weird European version of it on the last episode. I had to kind of super bootleg someone else's video to get a copy of it, to look at all the pages, really. I didn't even get a copy. I think we'll have a little bit more luck with the American collector's edition art book. And then Tuesday, we probably will not do it because during my recording time, it'll be server reset. So you'll hit some kind of lore episode from me out of that one too on Tuesday. So then Wednesday, it'll probably be Wednesday when we run Maraudon on our Alliance character. Maraudon is quite the dungeon. It could easily be broken down. Some people break it down into a few parts. I think it's unnecessary. It's just going to kind of be the trade-off. So we'll have a few days. I'll still be putting content out there. It'll just be shorter, or some of it will be on the Patreon. We need to find one more wind caller. And then the reward will be a big, fat playthrough where I 100% Maraudon on the Alliance side. We might have to do a follow-up episode or a wrap-up episode. We're going to see how that goes. Like, it might be a little shorty depending on how long it runs, or quest turn in. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Dang it, we threw a second windfall in. This will be our last fight in here, so I'll burn a little bit more resources than I normally would. And they are going to want to... She's going to want to run, most likely. Okay. So I burned through some of my mana because we won't be fighting for a while. Alright, so before we leave the zone of Feralas, because we've officially done everything that is involving going out into the world and questing. We've done it all in Feralas. Now we do have to turn in a lot of this stuff. But there is one more quest to explore, which is the quest to the top. It is a repeatable quest. It is the only quest that is level 25 in the zone. It's significantly lower. Most of the other quests, all of the other quests are in the level 40s and higher. There are some 50s as Dire Maul comes, which is the next expansion. So when we get to Dire Maul, that will be another expansion that we run. Kind of go around this mountain. That'll be another Chronicles, and then we're we're getting to where the rubber kind of hits the road. Because after Dire Maul, you're really kind of an end-game raid life of WoW Classic, in terms of when it dropped. In terms of by the time when we get to Dire Maul, that will also be true. Chronicles, though, there's just a one page is Maraudon, next page is Dire Maul. If I remember, I have not cracked my Chronicles book in a couple years, but I believe that's how it goes, and that's how the expansions dropped. It was, I think, 1.2 or 1.3 patch was when, that I have on the notes somewhere. Yeah, so in the second phase, Maraudon dropped along with Gurubashi Arena and Christmas, which we have read. The Christmas Gurubashi Arena, we can look at that just to see. There's not, I don't think there's even a quest involved with it. Let's look at String again real quick. Yeah, there's not really a quest. There is a Gurubashi Arena, but there's no quests with it, so not really a need for us to go there. The guy does yell out, "Are my Hardies?" and then it's a PvP slog, but I'm not a PvPer. And then immediately with phase 2 then begins with the third wave of patches, which is Dire Maul. And you get Dire Maul, Azure Ghost, and Lord Kazakh. So we're going to be looking to try to find those world bosses. And then that comes with the next drop where the epic quests and world PvP then came out after that. So we don't need to do world PvP. The epic quests will get folded in nicely in our raid. And it's really... Then we might do a quest for Ultrak Valley and Warsong Gulch. We'll do an episode where I run each of those one time, and I'm gonna suck because I'm exactly what those people hate. People that are rusty and have very little knowledge of the game coming in to just vacation in a PvP map. We'll talk about the rest of that in a minute. Let's do the quest because we're gonna have some fun.
The land of Feralas has been through much, person. The earth, the trees, the creatures, they are all changing what Feralas is and will be. The twin colossals above us remain as a constant, though, throughout all that has happened here.
Hey, this is repeatable to the top.
Would you like to see the view atop one of the twin colossals? I can send you there, person. Do consider how you will get down, though. This is a one-way trip only.
Okay, you say yes. She casts Twin Colossals Teleport on you, and then in a few seconds, you are at this top. One of the good things about this is the lake. This is a nice serene fishing spot. You can look about and try to see the area of Feralas, but the mist in the air does not actually make the view very great. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you look over here to this side, you could just make out the other colossal. If you get to the edge, you can let's see it right there. It's like a plateau. I don't know that you can get over there. Let's go ahead and mark that quest off. Like I said, we do this spreadsheet. So we're going to go ahead, boom, the top one's finally checked off. And we have a lot of goodness. Good squishy goodness. Of squishiness and good. Pick up, drop off. Cool. Alright, the way that you can get down is, well, you could suicide down as you see. If you are a mage with levitate, you could get yourself down that way. I don't believe, I know in retail, There's some great ways other than having a flying mount. For instance, leap with a warrior. I would cheese that all the time. If you push the leap button and then have your green circle out and just have it waiting until the green circle appears, then you cast it, you'll actually leap into the spot and you can fall infinite distance that way. I'm pretty sure bubbling works for shields, for priests and paladins in retail. I don't know if bubbling works in the same way. Levitate, I believe, is a priest move. I don't know what level you get it in Classic. It is a move in retail. I just don't remember. Or skip all of that and go to old Kalen Windflight here.
To get down safely, I provide wings to those in need.
For 20 silver, you can buy his Colossal Parachute. You can buy a bunch of them if you want. They only last for 20 minutes, so you'd have to be sitting here and see that your queue was about to work if you wanted to use this in PvP. Then you've got to strategically find where do you want this to go. I like to get off my mount. I like to hit slash to get in walk mode and get to the very edge, and then pop the parachute and then fall, because it's only a 10-second slow fall. That is deceptively short amount of time. So as you can see, you can get yourself in a bad situation fast. You still have to be strategic about where and how you fall. You can, and I did test it out once myself, there is a way to jump off one of the sides into water. So if you get up there and you don't have... that was more damaging than the other part. Look, here are level 61 elite dragons on that side. That's Jadenar. Or, oops, I did not want to take a screenshot. That's a quick way to die as well. If you're interested in death, here's more. I've got myself the wrong side. I guess that area is... You can kind of see there's a portal in there. Portal to the Emerald Dream. That's for those world bosses. We will one day do those. That's something for sure. When we get to the point of our life where we're starting to do that stuff, the endgame raids... Okay, so it is telling me LVI is now massively 5 or more versions out of date. Dang it. So I'll have to fix that later today. I do not enjoy fixing it because when I fixed it last time, it really screwed up. I'd like to get a little closer, though, to trigger this on my map, so I can have 100% this area. Just have to be careful that in doing so, we do not aggro those guys. Level 62 elites. I guess it's a little better now that we're 56. They're not just... Oh, that did not give me a trigger. That's... Now that we are 56... they're not going to come screaming from across the map to one-shot us. I'm sure a 62 elite would still make life very difficult on us. Maybe if you get closer. Jadenar Balgard. It is going to be tricky, though, trying to find access there. Green Bow. I gave 600 XP. Oh, there's still a little something down there that's not this little patch. I don't care. I'm not going over there. Should I? Should we explore that? I wonder what it is. I don't think I did this on my other characters because since I'm not doing completionist, I don't really care about 100%ing the map. And we're 56, so pretty soon the XP part's not even gonna matter. Look, there's Dream Roarer. The dragon. That's cool. I don't know that I've played around here. We could water walk or water breathe our way through. Water breathing, that's not. Maybe this little temple with where there's more dragons. Something. I don't think I've explored this. I never did these when I was in vanilla back in the day. I was never this. I never got characters this high level. I was definitely not coming around and playing over here. Like, this is crap. I'm in the thing and it's not. Also, don't wanna. I don't want to fight those guys over it. What is it that I'm supposed to be triggering here? Oh, Neros. There we go. Oh, Neros. Sometimes you can in vanilla they're just straight up ripping. Like it kind of muddies the mythology of the game a little bit. Like when we were reading on the in-game lore yesterday. You're reading the person Arathor, like that's straight up ripped from Lord of the Rings, or maybe no, Thoradin was the person who came and helped him. Really, both those names are ripped from Lord of the Rings. You know what? I'm gonna do a water walking. Okay. And then just now Oneros. That's a Greek god. Do not remember if it's Greek or... Nope, I aggroed. No I didn't. Wasn't full aggro, it was a... You're catching our attention, foolish mortal cow. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to put that shout out where it's like sometimes they're coming up with these things like Jaina Proudmoore and stuff like that, which seem a little bit more organic, and Thrall, like these different names. And then other times it's like, okay, well, you just went to Greek mythology and called it Oneros. Oniros, and I don't know, but either way, like that's, the god of sleep or dreams, which makes sense for an emerald dream kind of area, for a green dragon area, but seems a little lacking. All right, so why are we doing this? We're coming up because we're going to also set ourselves up for Maraudon's run in a few days. We're going to do 2 Maraudon runs on Alliance and Horde. I guess I can do some talking about it right now. I did extensively talk about this when I did the same setup for Alliance, so it might be retreading some territory, but I'll lay out to you what we're going to do in a completionist run. If you're interested in doing this, I'll probably be doing it around this time on Wednesday, so if you are on Classic Era and you want to join in on the GleeCon show for a full hand-holding walkthrough with me, yours truly, we'll be doing it on Wednesday with Glee, Contessa. You'll see me advertising in chat for a group, because I'll pug it, and I will be advertising it as taking all comers. That's the that's the sick way I try to get people to join my group, and it's that I'll be doing all of the quests. Alright, so there's only one quest that you can... There are a total of 8 quests for Maraudon. One of the quests, the easiest, lowest level quest that can be soloed outside of the instance, is called Shadow Shard Fragments. If you are Alliance, that quest is picked up in Dustwallow Marsh, Theramore. If you are Horde, even easier, it's picked up in Orgrimmar. So just make sure you grab it. One of the quests that we turned in the past couple episodes actually breadcrumbs you to the quest giver. And here is the first quest we'll pick up in Desolus. There is a guy, this is actually the trickiest quest in the dungeon and the trickiest one to find. This guy is named the Centaur Pariah, and he pats along this whole path, south of Manrot Coven. He says, "I need no home to know I still have a place in this world, shaman. The tribes will see, all of them. They fight amongst one another, and for what? Scraps left over by vultures. Lands infested by the Legion. Ugh! The Centaurs should be proud of their heritage. It is just as noble as any night elves or orcs. It's time we started acting like it." I mean, I guess, in the sense that they're a race, but their heritage is kind of jacked. Pariah's instructions is his quest. "Though exile is a heretic, my beliefs still ring true. That alone drives me onward. But for my destiny to be complete, I need the aid of an outsider. One not of any Centaur tribe. The task requires someone to enter the holy halls of Maraudon, a tomb my people protect, and only the most devout are ever allowed to enter. If you agree to aid me, then you need only nod. I will pass you a parchment with my instructions on it. Read it over and consider my words. Alright, so let's talk about this one as we walk. Well, we'll read the questing stuff here, but... So, Shadow Shard Fragments is one we already picked up. That is basically the troll. You do a quest, if you do a reward, you will get essentially a 10 points to your int, or a 20 attack power, which is like a 10-point stat buff necklace. It is not as good for our healing purposes as what we're wearing, and I believe on Glee Contessa, not as good either. So for this stage of the game, not a very good one for mid-level 50s, because it's a reward for a level 42 quest. What you would do is, the exterior and interior of Maraudon are broken down into 3 sections. A central, kind of more neutral section, and an orange section, which is actually higher level, and a purple section. If you go on the purple exterior, you'll be fighting a combination of little worms, like rock borer worms, and Shadow Shard elementals, which are basically earth elementals with a kind of a dark, voidish property to them. You can easily, at this level, probably even around level 45, slowly make your way back there and isolate them one by one. If you do it with a party on the way into the dungeon, that's fine too. You do need 10 shards, but the elementals have a 100% drop rate, and the drop rate is shared by the entire party. So the party just needs to kill 10 elementals in the exterior of the dungeon. Very, very easy. Most parties are willing to bust that out of the way. It is also a shareable quest, despite the breadcrumb that we had to get it. That breadcrumb is not necessary, so it is a shareable quest you can do. Okay, the second quest that you will pick up, if you're looking in terms of difficulty, is probably this Twisted Evils quest, or Vile Tongue Corruption. It's a tie. Twisted Evils is you have to get 15 Thoradric crystal carvings. They drop off of any elite with a very high drop rate. Some elites even drop more than one. I have had dungeons where all 5 people are on the quest, and long before the dungeon is completed, if you do a full run, you'll have your 15. But you can also safely farm them in the exterior of the dungeon as well if you're looking to just get some of this stuff out of the way and get a little bit more power. They're just things that drop off the mobs. We're going to go pick that one up right now because it's basically, again, it's like free XP. That one you do not have to farm. If you were really, really wanting to farm it at a low level, like maybe like you're level like 43 or 44 and you're trying to get it done, there is a single elite centaur in the exterior. It's the Lone Prophet or Lost Prophet, something like that. It is a single elite that is neutral that you can choose to attack. And you can clear out the non-elite mobs around him first. The centaurs, it has a pretty much 100% drop rate of 1 Thoradric crystal. So you could, once you kill it, it instantly respawns somewhere nearby. So if you wanted to, you could farm that over and over again. Okay, so here is Willow.
The crystal caverns of Taramak lie to the west, deep within Maraudon. It is an ancient place with much history, and I'm looking to get my hands on some of it, adventurer. Relics of the old gods lie hidden behind the giant doors. If you are willing to brave the twisted evils found in Maraudon, I believe I can make it worth your time. Collect the Thoradric crystal carvings you find and return them to me. Once I get the carvings, I will be able to study them. These powers have been too long at rest.
Alright, so she is a Twilight's Hammer person that we will be aiding, which is kind of weird that we're doing that, but okay. What she's referring to is in the birth story of the Centaur race, you have what's his name? The son of the elven druid god guy. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. Not Malfurion, not Malorn. It actually, yeah, I can't remember. But the son, it's a keeper basically. It's the son of one of those gods. Just the one that the druids worship, that Malfurion worships. That guy, the main druid god guy. His son came here, and his son is like a keeper type. So he's basically centaur shaped. So he's one of those. He's the god of those little keeper things. He came to this land and he met with the princess. The princess of the earth elementals, Princess Therazine. Maybe that's where she's from. Anyway, so she is the whatever earth elemental princess. They fell in love. They had babies. Those babies were the centaur race. At some point in time, the old gods started corrupting this land, which is why the Twilight's Hammer, Princess Therazine, I believe, went crazy. And between her and her crazed centaur children, they killed that nature god guy. So it was a bummer, and it also is why the centaurs are largely a villainous race. But at their core, they have this potential for being a good race. They're a very interesting race because of that. Chronicles sums it up, and on my previous episodes, it's just been a while since I've really read the lines. But that's the kind of gist of it, that there's an old god corruption here. It's also why this land, which used to be beautiful and lush, is a desolation. It was all because of this conflict between those two people. And I guess the remnants of that are leading us there. Okay, so there's another one also called Vile Tongue Corruption. Vile Tongue Corruption is you have to go into the orange side, where there is another quest we can pick up. There's a pool, you fill a vial with this, and then go into the instance. This one, I do not think it'd be extremely difficult to pick that one up. And solo it, but you could possibly brute force your way through if you could get to, maybe with a stealth class that was very able to handle it. But you essentially go in and you find 3 or 4 of these little plants. They're not interactable. You splash this filled vial. You could fill the vial easily solo, and then it will make the plant turn into three-ish mobs. I believe they are elite. They're weak elite, but I believe they're elite. They also drop the Thoradric crystals when you kill them. So you just need to do this 3 or 4 times. It's very, very easy with a party. I would imagine it's right on the fringe of doable if you're solo, and it would be pretty hard unless you were maybe like a tank class. And a high level one at that. And then we'll come here. There is a couple others. When you're right by that, you will get, I guess we'll continue to talk. We'll listen to her and we'll talk about those other quests while we fly. What is nature's call? My sisters and I have come down from the Stone Talon Mountains to put to rest a tragedy from ages past. Unfortunately, we are not powerful enough to accomplish our goals on our own, and now seek mortals such as yourself to aid us. If you are powerful enough, then we have much to discuss, Shaman. If you're not, then for your safety, I'll leave the details of my mission out of our conversation. Meaning, I guess, if you're not high enough level. And I guess just some non-elite, just regular, even though it's a party of 4, some high-level 30s are not powerful enough. And she gives us a quest called Corruption of Earth and Seed.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Deep in Maradon lives an evil creature of chaos. Princess Theradris is an elemental force of Earth related to the old gods. Ages ago, she and Zaytar, first son of Cenarius, there you go, began a relationship. The offspring of their time together became known to the people of Kalimdor as Centaur. Ever thankful creatures, the Centaur killed Zaytar, and now hold Zaytar's remains. My quest here is to find those powerful enough to slay Theradris, so we may recover Zaytar's remains before returning to Stone Talon. So you have to kill the main boss, Princess Theradris, and go back. This is why people do this run. It's a pretty solid staff, a very solid sword, and a pretty solid bow. I do not believe we'll do the math. I don't know. I don't think I'll be doing this. However, maybe I'll keep the rod as part of a healing. I won't. That rod's not gonna. Unless I'll do the math, it might be worth keeping overall, but highly doubt it. All right, so let's go pick up. Oh, I'm not even putting on my quests here. There's a reason why I'm doing this. All right, so the first one we did is we got the Pariah's instructions. We're picking up that bad boy. Bam, bam. Then we just went up and got Twisted Evils. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And then we just now picked up Corruption of Earth and Seed, the main obligatory boss kill quest of the dungeon. And let's just bop it out of the way right now. We're going to get Vile Tongue Corruption. 3 out of 5. 5 out of 8 are what you can get before venturing into Maraudon proper. You can get the 6th when you're in the exterior, which is... So we'll get Vile Tongue Corruption right now, but once you go in, you can get another quest called Legends of Maraudon. So Legends of Maraudon is found in the orange half of the exterior, right near where you would fill up your orange vial. And it's also from a dryad, and she will basically tell you that there is a rod that is by Celebris.
A satyr known as Vile Tongue has corrupted the caverns of Maraudon, stunting the growth of many of the plants inside. Take this vial, adventurer. Fill it at the orange crystal pool found inside the caverns. The coating inside the vial will counter the toxins, turning it into a healing agent. Find the Vilestem vines inside the orange caverns, and use the purified liquid on them. The corruption will be purged from the plant, but do know that Vile Tongue will still control it. He may use it against you.
Okay, he also says, Leak Console, take a look at the sample of the Vilestem vine that I took from the caverns so that you know what to look for. So they look like this right here. They're like, it's kind of hard to see because it's got those leaves around it, but it's like this orange bud. Alright, so that one I already talked about. Alright, so when you go in there and you get the Legends of Maraudon, I don't remember the actual questing things behind it, but he just wants you to do that, but she actually wants you to kill that satyr that he just mentioned, and you also have to kill another elemental. There is a poison elemental on the orange side, or water elemental, something like that, corrupted water elemental. So on the purple side in the interior, the main boss is this is a satyr, and then in the orange side, one of the bosses is this elemental. You can actually go further to fight another boss, a plant boss. If you fight both of them, and you'll get the 2 pieces to the rod, and then you go to the center right above the falls, and you will fight some dude like a corrupted version of Zaytar or something to that effect. And when you do that, or just a person that maybe came that's related to it all, I don't remember exactly. If you look at the map, this Spirit Seed of Life, Remulos. No, that's who you have to. Never mind, not that. It's. Darn it. Not Seed of Life. This one. It's Celebris. Okay, so you actually go and speak with Celebris. I don't know who that is. I guess he's another person. He's like Zaytar. He's one of these guys. He's corrupted. He's the main boss of the first half, the easier half of the instance. So you do your purple, you do your orange, and then you go to the centralized portion. He'll be the boss. You fight him after having those 2 pieces, and you will be able to turn them into him. Then that will give you the 7th quest, which is to create the Rod of Celebris. You just have to talk with him. There's some dialogue, blah, blah, blah. And he will fuse those 2 into a rod. This rod, while in your inventory, will allow you to access a portal at this beginning of the exterior of Maraudon that will always allow you to then warp back to that point, to that boss falls. Because if you jump over the falls, you can do the final portion. There are a few extra bosses there. I believe 3. There is a little mini-boss goblin that you can kill. Not mini-boss, he's technically a boss. He's tucked away in a corner. There's a boss of rock giants. And if you fall in the water, there is a boss that is maybe like a gator or something like that, a corrupted gator. The main point, though, is to go kill the actual Theradris. And when you do that, you will encounter... She'll drop a Seed of Life, something that wants you to go turn it into Moongland. The one thing I didn't talk about is the... Centaur quest, the Pariah, all throughout the dungeon. I will extensively talk about it during, but if you look back at my Alliance video, I walk through specifically how to get all the pieces. It's very challenging. You can pick up the amulet needed. We will read the instructions actually in some of our travels. Tezzy did give us some instructions. We're also going to sell and turn in some of this other stuff right now before we hit the last portion of our episode today. So the last thing that we're going to do now that we've basically wrapped up this zone is we're going to go to Booty Bay, turn in a couple quests on that side of things for the chicken to wrap up the mechanical chicken series of quests, and we're going to do a flight to finally go train our leatherworking in Badlands before reporting back here, and next time we'll be reporting for duty in the Dire Mall. I mean, no, Maraudon. Alright, let's see. What are we going to turn in? A couple to turn in there. I guess I'm going to go over here and turn in these Vengeance on the Northspring and Darkheart.
Peace, friend. Thank you, adventurer. Put an old Tauren's mind at peace.
Alright, just get a little silver for killing those harpies. No harm, no foul. Okay, that is one of the... These are some of the actual toughest quests in the zone. Let's see how it fares we're getting in terms of what we had to get done.
Go in peace.
And then Darkheart.
Farewell.
The hate that Idana spreads across the land must be stopped.
Now I know that Adana is truly dead. This heart, I will keep it in memory of what did here for me, adventurer. Thank you.
Those gloves are okay. They're close, but I'm not going to sacrifice 130 armor for one extra point of stats. This waist, though, I will upgrade. I'm going to lose the agility to gain 4 stam, and I'll be swapping over to intellect. With this character, I usually just go best player available strategy. So my damage is going to go down, but my intellect will go up, which is going to give me greater overall pool, which is not going to be as helpful in our soloing endeavors, but it will be very helpful in our questing, in our healing. So I will take that as a flat upgrade. Darkheart now done. All the hard ones are done. Cool. I think we're going to need a little bit more slots. Okay, so let's go turn in these Yeti hides as well. Actually, we'll do that. We need to turn in mountain. Oh, the witch doctor's right here. Oh, there he is.
How you doing, man? Later.
We are able to capture the mountain giants.
Be seeing ya.
Just imagine the possibilities of what we now possess, Gleekanso. Along with the materials that you have collected, I'll be able to forever trap the Muisek of these creatures into whatever I wish. Alright, so, mountain giant Muisek. This is also going to pick up and give us weapons of spirit, so I'm going to mark that off right now. We're going to have, I think, a few more. Maybe not even a few more. Okay, maybe we will. Alright, so we're clocking that, and then we're going to pick up and drop off weapons of spirit right now.
See ya later.
Oh, awesome. We are now revered with Thunder Bluff. Cool.
Okie dokie.
Imbuing the Muisek into the weapon is a difficult process. Now that I have all the required materials and the Muisek of the creatures that you captured, I may begin. Please wait, I will return in a moment. Return in a moment. Alright, so he's going over to his smoker. I guess he's going to smoke the Muisek. It says Witch Doctor Uzari gathers the materials together and begins to work. We gonna smoke the Muisek. Sorry for my offensive accent. I have completed the weapons console.
What can I do for you? Relax.
As promised, you have your choice, Gleekanso. The Muisek of the creatures has been forever sealed into the power of these weapons. You may now wield the energy as your own. Use it well. I do not like how much work we had to do to get this stupid thing. Alright, so you can get a main-hander axe, which is 9 agility. You can get a main-hander mace for 9 stamina. You can get a staff, which is... Let's see. My current one is rocking 4247 with a 2% crit and a little bit of strength. So that's basically like a 25, so it's like a 67, 68. This is 25 on to that, which... Oh. No. the 42.7, first of all, right off the bat, I count 0.1 as a whole point when it comes to DPS. So that's a big drop off. So for all of these, so this one is a little better. It's just, overall, like this staff is not cutting it. That's not going to be happening. So this is the better of the two for our purposes as two-hand axe. So at 39.5 is like a 32-point drop off for damage. And it does have 29 stats, but that doesn't even cover it. So this thing is not beating the Rock Pounder out. Not even particularly close. Although, if you 15 strength, 14 stamina, 200 access is if you do this quest much earlier, that's not too shabby. It's just way behind whatever we've been doing at this point in the game. And these two guys here.
Welcome to Camp Mojachi, brave adventurer. How may I assist you this day?
If these Rage Scar Yeti hides are anything like the quality displayed by their feral Scar counterparts, they could very well be as resilient as thorium. Imagine that.
Excellent, excellent. These are going to work out incredibly well. I can already tell that they're going to be much harder when properly cured.
This is a good,
Thanks again for your aid, adventurer. Here, please take one of my latest creations.
This is a pretty good armor if you're like a rogue or a feral druid. I think I'm still wearing it on my level 59 feral druid. It's pretty solid. Alright, so these two are about to be turned in as well. Bop those bad boys off. Also, what do we have left? We have these two. So we're going to need one more, which puts the Horde one over, but that actually could be from the way we did things. Hard to say. I'm going to go ahead and just finish our sheet right now so we can focus on talkings and go through, because this is what's going to get done next. So we're going to turn that in, pick up, turn it in. All right.
Go in.
What's this, Gleekan Soul? You've got something special for me?
This is an incredible find. I believe this is the finest Yeti hide specimen I have ever seen. Indeed, this is certainly worthy of an appropriate bounty. I normally don't pay that much for a single hide, but I'm confident I can make something special from it. Thanks for thinking of me on this, adventurer.
180 and 7. You mean you get 40 rep? I guess that's what it's really all about. All right, so before we leave, we're also going to mess around with just our leatherworking here. We need that patch of tainted skin. I'm going to sell all of this gear I just got, because other than that one thing, nothing is really better. Deep rock salt you can use for cooking and stuff. Guess I'm gonna save that potion. I think we could probably make do with. Yeah, we're in the middle of crafting our mage weave bandages out. Trying to get up to 300 if we can. Then life will just be collecting rune cloth to turn in for reputation, I guess. And then once you get to max rep, like, I don't know, what's that even all about? Alright, so we'll sell that. Some of these hides, we're gonna get all the hides and everything taken care of right now. We're gonna really work on our leatherworking before we go. Alright, so we do have rugged armor kits we can make right now. That's pretty good. A wild leather cloak I'm not worried about because of the wild vines. Same thing here. We do have the nightscape boots. I think that's thick leather. That's probably a good bet for us right now. So let's look at our hides. We can't make any heavy, but I can with some salt. Let's get the trade.
You wish to speak?
Yeah, we already got all those. Okay, with just 3 salt, I can make 1 cured heavy hide. That clears up a little bit. With deep rock salt, we can at least make 2. I guess we need more of that, so that's what's holding me down. I can get a little bit of that out. We have 20 of those. But I guess cured thick hide requires deep rock salt, so we're kind of in a tough spot with that. I'm going to get rid of the wolf meat. It's because we are going to be thick leather. Now we can... I'm pretty sure we need thick leather for the night scale things. Not heavy. Yeah, so I don't need heavy anymore. So we can go ahead and make thick leather out of this. But we're not going to make the rugged leather yet. Because it's not going to help us. I think all these superior healing potion stacks are a bit excessive, but that I'm not going to ditch. We'll keep it for now. We need to read the Pariah's instructions as well. These we're going to save. They're going to help us later. They're going to help us in the next zone. It's not even that crazy of a hold. Okay. Now we're going to come over and work on Nightscape boots. Okay. So let's see. We need heavy silken thread. Okay, so 1632, we can do that. 48, we can do that. 58, 64, we can do that. 80, we can do that. Okay, so we can make a full 5. If we get really lucky, this will this is going to blast us up to 265, possibly. Hard to say. I don't know that there's any training left. I guess while they're crafting that, let's kind of look at classic leatherworking. Now, the classic leatherworking profession thing, this is engineering, dang it. These sites are okay, but this is like if you're wanting to go as fast as possible and use the auction house. This is what would get you. We are in this range right here. It says you can make heavy leather balls. I don't think we even have that recipe. Well, we're already past that anyway, so cured heavy hide, we do need that. That will take you up to 165. Will it? No. You need 20 of those, they're just saying. All right, so heavy armor kit. What? Heavy armor kit? Oh, we're at 260. I'm way below. I'm like, what the heck? This seems really low. Okay, so we are in this ballpark right here. The Nightscape. So it says Wicked Leather Gauntlets are a good place. I don't know where you get those from. Sold by this person in... It's dropped by the Rogues in Ajara. So we will maybe grind. We'll do Ajara soon. Alternative... Oh, those are bracers. The gauntlets is sold by this guy in Tristful Glades. Probably in the exterior, kind of near where Western Plagueland starts. Alternative, you could go to make more Nightscape boots. And the Wicked Leather bracers, they're dropped. So that's how you get up to 290. Basically, we just keep making these Nightscape boots, just like I said. Nightscape boots is, we've kind of found it on our own. This is a decent way to do it. Rugged armor kits are still rocking some points, though. What do they require? Yeah, the Wicked set does require a lot of rugged as well. So next time we're in Undercity, we can go take a peek. Because my guess is this guy is out there. Yeah, he's right there on the exterior of Western Plaguelands. All right, we did not hit 265. Bummer. Okay, that did clear some area out for us, though. That's the main purpose of doing all of this. Okay, got a lot of our leather out. I kind of want to make rugged armor kits until I get to 265 at least. I'd like to hit that tier. If I can. We're going to see. Maybe we get lucky, maybe we don't. It'll also clear out some of my rugged leather. We had 10, so if typically I find that green means about a 10% chance, so we might get lucky, we might not. So far, no good. We've done half of them, no points. Come on. Come on, you got this. Get out a second stack of those. No, 7 fails. Oh, gosh. What dookie luck on that one. And we're wasting, not wasting, but we burned through all of our rugged leather for no points. What a stinking bummer. Alright. And I think that's it. So let's check and see, does this guy have any recipes? Skinning, we're maxed out on this guy.
Looking, you have
Girl.
wasted your time
Yeah,
and mine by
nothing.
coming to me for training, adventurer. I have no time to teach basic skills. We're fighting a war here, and this is one.
Alright, let's look at the Dragon Scale Leatherworker as well. Just to see what the recipes are. Dragon Scale Recipe Trainer. This guy, we're going to just look and see what are his recipes. Okay, so he does not have anything sitting at 265. 260 he does. So we Dragon Scale Gauntlets, Breastplate, and Leggings. We should be able to at least get the Dragon Strike Leggings. That's cool. So eventually we will learn some more of the recipes. I don't know if they're all him, but Dragon Scale Gauntlet, Breastplate, Leggings. Do we have... We do have gauntlets. We can learn those if we wanted to grind our own. So we'll be able to get the other 2 recipes right now. That's the only reason why I'm really going there. Oh, and he just sent me an email. He just sent me an email. He sent me a letter in the mail instantly, that fast. Oh, greetings once again. I just wanted to send you word that things here in Camp Majache are going well. I've managed to make several new pieces of leather items thanks in no small part to your aid. I had some extra bits of leather left over, so I thought I'd send you something extra as a way of saying thank you once more. If you're ever by the camp again, be sure to visit. Peace to you and your ancestors, says Jane Door. Alright, we have 18 of these. I think we can safely probably actually ditch our thick armor kits now, because with all of these rugged, we're not going to need them.
Winds guide you.
So I'm going to get rid of those. Oh, whole gold for a stack on that one. Just additional ways. Like also like this medium leather. That's probably unnecessary, but you never know. We might get some from time to time with heavy leather. Alright, that's a pretty good amount that we've cleared out. Oh, we have another spot right there. Look at that. Okay. Alright, so now to wrap up the episode, we are going to go to the Badlands to get those other 2 recipes. We have to look and see, would it be faster to fly to Booty Bay? Or, oh, Hearth. We got a Hearth to Orgrimmar, then fly to Booty Bay. That will be faster. That's the move. I guess we can check our bank to see if I have any deep rock salt also. I don't think I do, but I may. I don't think deep rock salt can keep up with my demand for it. Unless you went out and farmed it. I haven't grown the soil, but nice to get some of that stuff out. Okay.
Would you rather trust your goods with a goblin?
Yeah, we're not doing tribal leather working. I eventually might have to ditch that. That's that coolest shield I found. Just scanning. 20 cured medium hides. I'm going to keep my cured thick hides for now. Yeah, I don't think so. I used it all up. I used them all up. I am going to put this medium leather, actually. Let's put that in there. And a cured heavy hide. But add that to the stack. I don't think I really need those anymore. I don't think I'll need those. I am fine with that. Thick leather we gotta keep. Gonna keep the thick hide because, like I said, I don't know what we'll need them. Even though it's 20 seconds. All right, that's good. Okay, now we're gonna take a little quick hot flight over to Ratchet, and then we will get on the boat, and then turn in our last 2 quests for this episode, and then do a quick flight over from Ratchet. Not a super quick flight, but we'll do a flight from Ratchet to the Badlands, and actually, I guess you guys probably don't even need to see that flight if it's just traveling to the Badlands. That's kind of boring to just go watch me learn those couple recipes. There's no quests involved or anything, so I could probably not.
You haven't lived until you've looked down on the world from the back of a wind
I guess we'll see
rider.
if we're in the middle of a good conversation or not. We still have to do Elemental Mastery, so yeah, because when we get here, then we would have to fly up to the Badlands, which is a little far away, and then walk over to this dude, all to Hearthback at the end. I believe those are all quests. Alright, so I guess we can talk a little bit about what's coming up, because once we do Maraudon, I'll probably be busy doing the dungeon. I won't get a chance to talk as much. Let's read the Pariah's instructions first. It says, set far back in the Valley of Spears is the Holy Temple of Maraudon. If that were not transgression enough, you will quickly see why I have asked a non-centaur to aid me in my plight. There, just beyond the doors, where only spirits and our most sacred priests and priestesses may travel, is one called the Nameless Prophet. He is the highest of any tribe in spiritual matters, and is one of the oldest of any tribe. He's the one I talked to you about that when you kill, instantly respawns, has a 100% drop rate on those Theradric carvings. Technically, an elite is neutral. If you kill him, he will drop an amulet. This prophet is powerful and communicates with the spirits of our ancestors, but he is a fool. He has no idea the true power he possesses on his person is the Amulet of Spirits. It is where most of his strength comes from. I've learned that the amulet is powerful, but it is incomplete. There are 5 gems missing from the amulet, and if those gems were found and placed back into the symbol, its power would far exceed that of its current form. I have found the 5 gems, but need one of your skill to help gather them. Slaying the Nameless Prophet is heresy for sure, as is stealing from his corpse, but what I would ask of you next would condemn any centaur for even thinking it. Throughout the caverns of Maraudon roam the spirits of our first Khans, our mother and father's first children, and our greatest leaders. They are Gelk, Kolk, Magra, Marados, and Veng. Each of these spirits holds one of the missing gems. Use the power of the Amulet of Spirits to force them to manifest and take the gems from them. After, place the gems within the Amulet of Spirits and return it to me. Once I have the Amulet of Union, I will be powerful enough to reform the tribes so we can finally be as our ancestors wanted us to be. Yeah, it's kind of a messed up thing. So essentially what will happen is, like I said, shortly after entering the exterior of Maraudon, before the mobs turn elite, you will be able to find the Nameless Prophet. You kill him and get the amulet. That amulet can be used as an item to target those 5 ghosts. Those ghosts are otherwise green. They're friendly. But if you target them, they will become hostile and attack you. None of them are hard on their own. It's the getting to them, finding them. Especially as you can see, he did not offer any advice. So let's look at a map of Maraudon real quick. Okay, it's good to refer to these when you're learning dungeons. I do it myself. Okay. So I usually keep one of these up in the background the first few times I run a dungeon, just to sort of kind of learn the layout. Especially helpful for dungeons like Wailing Caverns. Some it doesn't really matter. Some dungeons don't really need it. So the exterior of the dungeon is actually not even mapped here. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, they don't have there is no map. I guess there's no way to really get a map of the exterior. So let's talk about the exterior first. The exterior, you kind of go in and there's like a little bridge that loops under. Nothing there. Once you get in a little deeper, you'll start finding centaur ghosts mobs. They're not elite, and the Nameless Prophet can start spawning pretty much anywhere at that point in time. Very quickly, the path you'll get to a room where the path can venture out 3 ways. You'll be able to see on the map that one side is purple, one side is orange, and the other side is just, you can go a little further in. If you go a little further in, you'll get to a couple more guys, and there's like a ledge you can kind of jump under. Underneath this first ledge area, you can find 2 things. You can find the path if you have the Rod of Celebrus that you would use to the portal to port into the waterfall. There, anytime you need to get deeper, if you're doing princess runs in Radon, if you're doing the lunar festival and you want to access the saints or whatever they're called, the lunar guys, elders. If you want to access the water down there for whatever reason, this is where you would go. Right around that area, there's another little cubby with the first of the 5 dudes. So if you use it, you'll get to kill your first. If you split off to the purple or orange, what I like to do is split off down to the orange path. You pick up those quests, you fill up your thing, and you'll reach the orange path, which is mostly basilisks. And in that area, there is also another cubby pretty far along into it, near the end of the orange path, that has the second of the guys. I don't know if he's actually con number 2 or gem number 2, but you can get that second spirit. I then like to go into the instance now and do the orange side. I don't like to do the orange side, run through the middle, and then run. I just don't like it. It's not the way I feel that it flows best. I like to do the orange side. The orange side is also a level or 2 higher than the purple side. It is much harder, mostly because there are nature damage dealing mobs that really pack a wallop. Particularly, there are the slimes, and the slimes wreak havoc on any melee character. They basically just rock your world continually and are only... you pretty much have to kite them. So if you're a retail player, you're familiar with, especially Mythic, you're familiar with a lot of mobs that have similar mechanics. There are mobs like this that have it happen too. In Sunken Temple, the trolls that you kill that spawn the ghosts, and then you kind of have to kite until the ghosts disappear, or you range people. Similar thing, like this is just not a melee friendly area. You've got to be smart about it. As soon as you enter the orange side, both cons on both sides, the orange and purple side, will start their patrol. They do a very slow patrol all the way through. You are unlikely to be able to get the first con on your own within this, because he very quickly starts walking by other mobs. The only way is if you were a stealth class or a very high level, like level 60, you might be able to hit him, aggro him, and pull him away before aggroing any other packs of mobs. But any party is going to have to try to clear the area around him, and they will not be able to clear the mob packs faster than he pats. So I would say don't stress it, just let him go about his business. Work your way through. You're going to need to fight your way up to the water elemental boss anyway. Like I said, this is intense on the healers and the melee DPS, so this is a little bit harder. Anyhow, you can also tell if you can get through this portion up to where you kill the con, particularly if you can get up to Razor Lash, which is an optional orange boss. He's technically the boss of the orange side. But you have to clear past the elemental to get him. I usually do it for fun. While you're in here, you can also clear out certain areas to get those vile blooms. I would avoid as many packs as you can, because most of them are just not worth it. So just do whatever avoidance. Be careful. It's very easy to overpull on this side. This is, again, where you will... If you're going to experience wipes due to people not understanding mechanics, due to people being overly gusto, due to having a particularly inept healer, or due to tanks that just overpull, here's where it's going to happen, and it will really test the mettle of your group while you're still relatively close to the beginning of the entrance. In my opinion, if you can make it through the orange up to Razor Lash, your group's going to be good to go, as long as they have the staying power to do an over 2 hour long dungeon in a completionist run. As long as you keep everybody calm, it takes a good leader. Leader is not always necessarily the best player. It's not necessarily the healer. It's not necessarily the tank. It is someone that can keep everyone head level and keep the finger pointing and everything off of everyone's radar. So after you do that, by the time you've made your way up to Razor Lash, you can usually have that pariah or the ghost will have finished his circuit and start making his way back. Then you can isolate him and get your third gem. Then I backtrack out of the orange side. Backtrack my way back through the orange exterior to the purple exterior, and then I will complete my Shadow Swords fragment. Also tucked in one of the cubbies around there is going to be your fourth gem. Okay, here's our little Oglethorpe of Nothingness.
Well, if it isn't Adventurer, it's good to see you again. I cannot express my gratitude enough at the help that you've given me and my invention work to date. What can I do for you today? Oh, you're the great savior of OOX 22 FE. I cannot even begin to express my thanks for your assistance. My homing robot series needs more development, but your recovery has saved me countless hours of extra rebuilding time, as well as many gold pieces in manufacture costs. Please, take your choice of any of these items I have. Thank you again for your generous assistance, Adventurer. My robots and I are in your debt.
This is actually, again, a very good leather DPS shoulder. Really good. I think I'm using it right now. I might have just upgraded over it. I don't know. Pretty solid for feral druids or rogues. Not for us. I like the chain link towel, now even less absorbent. It does not touch my deep wet woodlands cloak that I'm wearing. Not even close. So
Seeing you.
not going to do anything for us there, and the XP is very minimal, but now we get an OOX of our own.
You've recovered 3 of my OOX homing robots.
OOX.
You've gone above and beyond what you needed to, so I will give you something special for all your help. It is a miniature version of the very same robot that you have come to know and love, the OOX. I normally wouldn't let anyone have such a potentially lethal device, but you've been a real help. Besides, the combat mechanisms and the homing logic on this one have been disabled. Other than that, it's an OOX by golly.
Now that one we get some good XP for. We use our chicken. I mean, I guess it wasn't bound to us. So now we have a little pet chicken right here, mechanical chicken that can follow us around to show that we have found and gotten all of these. I don't care enough about, the mechanical chicken is not cute enough for me to want to walk around and brag about it. So I don't particularly care. I'm not gonna sell it or anything crazy like that. I'll sell this failed flying experiment. But I am gonna go stash this chicken in the bank. Alright, let me see where we are on record time. It's getting kind of late. Okay. Alright, so trust that I will go learn those recipes without you guys. I'm gonna go get on this flight path right now. Let's go stash
Interesting.
chicken little here. Okay, good, we've closed more and more of our space out. We have wrapped this zone up. Like, to wrap up what we were talking about, once you go in to the purple side, you will fight your way to the satyr, and as well, at this point, because you've already triggered the walking path, the ghost could be anywhere. Just wait until you see him. He will pat around the purple side. Purple side's much easier. It's little imps and satyrs. Not really a big deal compared to everything that you've been through thus far. You get the second half, and then you'll go to you'll get your final gem. You go in, fight the last boss. Pretty easy. You can skip most of the mobs in the center section. Fight that boss, do the quests I mentioned before, and then you'll enter the waterfall side of things, which is pretty straightforward. Most of the bosses are optional. You can just run straight to the princess. That's why people like doing it. And yeah, you'll get a quest when you beat the last boss called Seed of Life, which just requires you to go to Moonglade, which might be a hike for some of us, but since it's through Fellwood, it's not going to be the craziest hike. It just might require a death run through Timberwall. But we might already have a flight path there. I'm not sure. Probably not. If you look at where we're at right now, it doesn't look like we've been there. So most likely, we have been here though. We will have to run up here and then do a death run through Timbermaw. Unfortunately, we will just try our best. to get through there, dying as few times as possible, and that'll allow you to connect and get some of these places. There's also a Reliquary of Purity quest for Silithus that's interesting. Okay, everybody. What I'll do is I'll collect my Badlands recipes while I'm forming the group for Maraudon next time. But we have done it. We've completed a whole other zone. Once we're done with Maraudon, we are officially 3/4 of the way through the game, and we'll do a little patch. So tomorrow, now that we're prepping for Maraudon, we'll visit Chronicles tomorrow. That'll be fun. And like I said, in a few days, we'll start this run. And even if it takes us a couple episodes each by next week... Oh, look, the thing is still following me around because I'd summoned it, even though I put its summon thing in the bank. That'll disappear once we get on the flight path. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know that worked like that. It's kind of cool. All right, thank you so much. We have another episode, and most importantly, another whole zone in the pipe, 5x5.